This is what it's supposed to be. This is what it's supposed to look like when you figure things out. I have so much to say. So, I'm just gonna sit here. I uh, I just got back from my dad's house. It's like 1 in the morning on Sunday, maybe later. I had so much healing today. I resolved so much. And I know what I want to do in my life, in the world now. I understand. So, listen to this. I had an awful exchange with my ex, and I was feeling off. Like inside, I was like, nothing I can. Everything I try to say to express my love for this person, they don't receive it. She feels like I trying to hurt her. Or her shield goes up. Like the more I try to love her, the more damage I do. So like, okay, all I can do is leave it alone. I was feeling really like lost and frustrated. It's so hard to. She reminds me so much of my mom. It's the same things. Like I can't have a conversation with her. There's a record of everything. And my ex is like, oh, I forgave you, and I don't have any hard feelings. But it's like if you remember it, and if you're upset by it, you didn't forgive me. And I feel it, and I've been racking my brain like, why can't I sleep at night? Why can't I let her go? Like what's, like I can't get close to her, and I can't like. I feel like every time I turn around and try to just live my life, there's this person that I have such a close connection with, who I know is so much like me and is suffering. And then how do I just live my life? Like, oh, not my problem. She doesn't want my help, so fuck her. It's like, how do I? My hands are tied. There's nothing I can do. So I was feeling really like I'm just every day. God, what? Why? Why is this? Why can't I? Why did you give me the ability to see without the ability to change anything? Certainly, my words are not going to fix anything in this world. God knows. So I called my friend Shari, absolute angel. I'm like, can we have church today? Basically, I was like, do you want to do church today? She said yes. I was like, really? It's like, I need help right now. And yesterday was my sister's wedding, and I was honestly for weeks I've been upset, thinking I have to talk in front of people, and then also I have to make it funny, I have to make it relatable, and also like I don't have a good relationship with my sister right now. And I don't have a non-existent relationship with the guy she's marrying. It was never resolved. It feels weird. And then as I was giving my speech, it's like she looks like my sister, but she's not there. Like, the person I'm talking about is like, it's like there's no connection. Like it's like my sister's dead. It's the feeling I get. And I don't, that's a hard loss for me. She was I gave this speech where I said when I was little I prayed, or I asked my mom for a little brother I wanted. So I want a little brother because my brother had a lot of trauma, and he would take it out on me. So I didn't feel comfortable around him, and we liked different things too. So I was like, can you give me a little brother so I have someone to play with, someone who just loves me anyways? I don't have to say the right thing or act a certain way. And my mom told me if I want a little brother, I have to pray. So it was the first thing I prayed to God for. So I had this joke planned. I'll tell you because I was like, okay, I'll pray, but the problem is everybody in the house was praying for something different. I'm praying to God for a little brother. My mom's praying for a daughter. My brother's praying for Nintendo, and my dad is praying for something that rhymes with smortion. Probably true. Probably not something I should say in front of people. The audience last night sucked. The best man gave the worst speech I've ever heard, and my dad got the microphone and said, "Everyone hated that. Couldn't wait for you to finish." This guy had so he was paralyzed with fear. He was standing in front of their house the whole night alone, worried that he has to talk in front of people. And then my dad is like, "Hey, you fucking suck." And it, like, then I have to go up there like, "Hey, I'm the court jester. I have all this shit." Like, it's fucking weird and hostile in here, man. Why did you do this? And then also like a skeleton, like nobody was here anymore. Everybody like left, like, oh yeah, speeches, whatever. It's like, all right. I had all this fucking. I was like pacing. I like separated myself from the party to fucking. Okay, I gotta say this and this and then everything fucking fell apart. Everyone's to be. I'm my own worst critic. Everyone's saying I did great, so I will just shut up. I don't want to see it. Um, okay, so last night I get home and I can't sleep. Like I was so physically tired, and I woke up in the middle of the night feeling like I'm hungover, and I'm like drained, drained. I know, like okay, I'm fucking introverted and it was a lot of people, but like it really felt like I was hungover. I just in my head I wonder if I'm connected to somebody that did drink actually. I wonder. Um, my ex. So I I asked my friend, do we go have lunch? And then we go to Javier's. And as I'm sitting there, I'm like dozing off. I didn't go to the gym. Like I'm just fucking like I feel tired and heavy. Just like something's wrong. Something's been wrong for a long time. I don't know what the fuck. Like what am I supposed to do? I can't love my ex. I can't leave her. I am like, do I leave this door open? Do I like God? Fucking what? What is it? Tell me what to do. I'll do it. I trust you. But what the fuck? What's this limbo shit? So I I couldn't be present at lunch. I was like, we ordered food. It was taking a long time. I was like, if we don't start walking, I'm gonna fall asleep. So we get the food to go. Still haven't eaten it. And as we're walking, I'm like, can we sit? And I'm just trying to think, like, what do I need right now? So I asked her, like, what are your plans for the rest of the day? She's like, well, I had to do something. I was like, can you be here while I do mushrooms? And she's like, sure. Like, so I was like, I came home, took the mushrooms, took a whole chocolate bar. Then I put my sunglasses on and waited for the ride to start. And the visuals were super intense, and I did not enjoy that part. We were like walking around. Every time we had to see people, I'm like dressed like this. I'm holding a blanket. At one point I was standing in the middle of the street. I'm like, I don't know any of these people, and I'm never outside. So the one time they're like, this guy moved in 2 years ago, kept to himself. Then one time he just stood in the middle of the street. Um, so once I start tripping, I start thinking about obviously how to solve my problems. I went upstairs and I cried thinking like I have to just energetically I have to let go of my ex, and it is what it is, and can't force someone to grow or love me or understand. You know what I mean? It's just I did everything I can. Now at this point, like, why are we both suffering? Why? This is the lesson I watched my parents go through. So my mom was insistent, like, no, be here and suffer with me. If you're gonna be here, we're suffering. My dad decided to save himself, but I also feel like I was so. While I was high, I asked Shari, like, can you take me to see my dad? So, like, we sat in the park, and I just called my dad on the phone. I had his number memorized. I didn't bring my phone with me, and we started talking. I'm like, Dad, you ruined this kid's life. This guy had social anxiety, and then you in front of everybody, you're like, you fucking suck, idiot. You're such an asshole. And he's like, well, he needs to know. I was like, Dad, when you're gone, everyone will miss you. One of a kind. Such a character. I was like, I have whatever you have, I know I have, but fuck me, man. You could, you know, doesn't have to be like this. So, talking and having fun. I was like, Dad, are you busy? Like, can I just? Why don't we just talk? Why don't we just like be in the same? Are you? Can you cancel your plans? Whatever it is. I was gonna watch this movie, but you guys come over. I was like, Shari, can you take me to my dad? I'll tell you how to get there. She's like, sure. It's on board. God bless her. Great friend. And in the car ride over, I'm thinking about like we were talking about like complex like family dynamics and trauma and how I grew up and how my parents were and all this. You know what I mean? And she's like, just listening and tears coming in her eyes. And thank God, like she's supposed to be here. Great, great friend. Great friend. Um, so she takes me to my dad's, and then I'm just like hugging my dad. I'm telling him like, never, I don't allow this in my normal. Like I feel unloved because I won't accept love. I don't make time for the people that love me. So last night is like proximity wise, I was close to so many people, but I felt so not close. Does that make sense? So like in contrast, I'm with my family and friends and people that I grew up with or whatever. Everyone's asking, when's your turn and all this stuff. And honestly, like my ex was texting me. I just didn't want to look at my phone. I was like, I need to be present. Like you could have been here and you decided not to. I'm like, leave me alone so I can just enjoy myself, please. She's out at a club and go do that stuff. That's fine. Go. It's out there. It's out there still. It's not me. I understand. I won't make you happy. I get it. So go do the things that go be like your friends. Like there's a you know we choose our own paths in life. I don't want to be 50 and single at a club. I don't want to. I'm at 39 and single. I don't want to be in a club. Um, I started to feel like the conversations we're having with my ex was like we're having good conversations, but there's also like this. She won't allow real closeness. I don't really have the capacity to be like, are you coming or going? It's like, are we in each other's lives or not? So we can't have this like super deep connection, but also have it just stay superficial. It doesn't, you know what I mean? It doesn't work. It's like I can't care about your life and your family and your health and all this stuff, and then you just like don't talk to me for days or weeks. So do you love me or not? Like, are we friends? Do you care about my? Does it matter? Like, I had a fucking awful day yesterday during the day, and I like if I text her, I'm not gonna, I won't hear from her for hours. And then like, I'm seeking this. I'm there for you. Why can't you be there for me? And that's obviously something I've carried since childhood. So I I convinced Shari to take me to see my dad, and we had such a. He talked about how there was a time my dad, one of 11 kids, was afraid of his father, didn't really know him. His father died when he was 15. So, Middle Eastern culture and stuff like this is in fight or flight. You know, I got a lot of tough love. I didn't hear "I love you" very much, but more importantly, I didn't feel it growing up. So, I was always accused of being lazy, or in school they'd say he's smart, but he's daydreaming. So I was in fight or flight all the time, but I couldn't fight and I couldn't fly. So I would disassociate. And in class, I'm literally dreaming of flying to escape. So I'm like telling my dad this. And he understands what he put me through, and he keeps saying like "I love you," and it's like, Dad, I know. I know, but it's I knew you didn't know better at the time, and I know that you loved me. So there's a time where he was late, and I couldn't find something for school. And he basically like pushed me down the stairs. And being honest, he pushed me, and I grabbed the railing, and I decided to let go. Just be dramatic about it, if I'm being honest. And then when I go to school, I have PE, and then I can't do activities today because my ankle's fucked up or whatever. And then she took me to the office, and then I had to talk to Child Protective Services. And when I did that, I thought I wouldn't have a home anymore. I thought that I would be taken to a different family. I thought that I would never see my family again. But at the time, I felt so unloved that I wanted. I was like, I don't fuck these people. My favorite movie growing up was Oliver Twist. And even though I had a family, I felt like that orphan. I was like still looking like nobody's loving me unless I pretended to be sick so I get love from my mom. But so my dad is like telling Shari this story. He's like, I was stressed, and he's explaining himself, and he's like holding me and telling me all this like the stuff that I know. Like I know what the conditions were and why I couldn't be mad or resent him. But that means I held on to it. I didn't have to release it, and we never talked about it till now I'm 39. We just talked about it we never, you know what I mean? Like it just had to get swept under the rug. You know what's interesting is the Child Protective Services lady. She's like, normally when I see abused children, they have a twinkle in their eye, and you don't have that. I don't know what the fuck that means. I don't know how to get a twinkle, but she tried to bully her way into my mom's house, and my mom's like, "Fuck you, get a warrant. You ain't taking my kids." Mom yelled at Dad. They had to do interviews or whatever. They asked me if I have a problem, who do I go to? I said my dad. I'm like, okay, there's no problem here. And my dad stopped hitting us after that. If you ask me, he stopped hitting us too soon because my sister could use a couple more smacks. You know what I mean? Okay, so I had this like super heart to heart with my dad, and I'm like, why am I alone on Sundays, and you know what I mean? Or I could be with my family and talk about real stuff and be loved. We do not seek for love. We just have to, I don't forget to phrase it, get rid of the barriers that we have against it. Something Rumi said. It's really cool that I have all these spiritual conversations with my friend, and then she got to be with me on my, like, this was like, oh, so another thing I was thinking about is there's so many people that crossed my path that wronged me, like my old business partner, like old friends, and I overlooked a lot of the things they were and the things they did to maintain the relationship. And then when I finally cut it off, their lives have suffered, from my understanding, and they don't have anybody close to them. They don't have actually like real good people in their lives now. Which, like, of course, I'm like, well, fucking, that's what you get, motherfucker. But maybe it's mushrooms talking, but it's like, we're here to learn how to love and be loved. Why am I not teaching them? It's like, hey, it's not right what you did. This wasn't the right course of action. But everybody's looking to be loved. We're here to learn how to love and be loved. So, and we learn from each other. So the people that hurt us, in fact, are the ones meant to teach us. Those are the best teachers. You know, if someone hurts you, that's like, oh, this was meant to happen. So I was trying to have this convo with my ex, like, we realized that, like, there's something important here. We didn't know each other very long, and there shouldn't be this tumultuous. And of course she's like, well, you said I can't forgive you for what you said. And I was like, psychologically, like, I'm not even talking about spiritually. Like, when you hold on to these things, someone said this, so I feel this way. This is you creating trauma through someone else to mirror it to yourself. So what's upsetting you in the world is teaching you about something inside you that's unhealed. We shouldn't be upset for any reason. You know what I mean? And then we have people in our lives that show us a mirror. So for me, there's a lot of blind spots, believe it or not. And when I met my ex, she was holding up a mirror to me. But I'm looking at it like, you are this and this. These are the things that are wrong with you. And I don't realize that it's what I see in her is what I see in me. I can't actually see what's wrong with myself. This psyche won't allow it. So we project. That's what projecting is. So we project our inner world outside. And we hire actors in this play. You teach me that I'm not treating myself right or whatever. It's like I'm not giving myself love. It's such an interesting thing. So I had this super cathartic, this was for weeks I haven't been sleeping. I have the outside world seems like a distraction. It's like I'll get work done and money. It's like, what the fuck? I don't care. Sure, I want a castle overlooking the ocean. Yep. On my way. Whatever. But what the fuck? Why does it look like this on the way? What the fuck? I want to be happy now. Happiness is in the present. Keep looking for reasons not to be happy now. And then I find people that reflect that. Oh, you're unhappy. Let's think of reasons to be unhappy together. So, my ex taught me a lot, and she's a wonderful person. Very wounded. Told her she's a combination of me and my sister. Like she has the burden of us both, frankly. There's this concept of soul family. So people that you're meant to meet along your journey. And I know enough about psychology. I know enough, like, I read people well. I have enough life experience that I can avoid most storms, most confrontations. I can read it. Even if a customer's gonna be a problem, like, we don't need to know each other. It's fine. It doesn't seem like it can meet your needs. God bless. And when I meet women, the same thing. I don't think we're the right vibe. Great person, not my person. Good day to you. Don't give it a second thought. Run into them. I don't have no sex dreams about them. Nothing. So, this is not my thing. I'm sorry. With my ex, I'm like, this is different. It's like I came across someone that reminds me so much of myself, and then I saw all the signs that says, no, let's not fuck with this. But there's some deeper thing that I'm like, there's something here. My subconscious is telling me, like, either this is the next step on the road or this is the final destination. I don't know. I assume the answer to that really depends on her personal life journey and path. And what I was thinking is that while I was high, especially, I was like, I wish I could talk to her right now. It's like, I don't want to talk about the past. I don't want to talk about what we are or are not. I don't want to talk about anything like that. I'm going through something. I'm having a hard time. And you're someone that gets me. And because of family pressure or society pressure or whatever the fuck, like, what we potentially could be or could not be, is like, fucking shut all that noise off. Can you just be present with me? I am going through something. I need your help. I wanted so bad to call her. I was like, she's not going to receive this, or I'm going to get yelled at, and I'm high and I can't fucking handle it. And I was thinking, like, what would be super cathartic for me ongoing. Like, I figured out that, like, I have to just spend time with my dad. I refuse to do it. Like, we're all going to dinner tomorrow as a family. It was always like why do I have to go do a thing? I wanted to just relax, and like, I was just holding my dad. We were in the same, like, never done it in my life, my whole life. Never just hugged my dad. Just sat in the same place and like, what's my problem? When he says I love you before hanging up, I'm like, gay. What the fuck? What's wrong with me? I don't, like, I kept bringing up, like, this relationship with my mom and, like, what I've learned, and, like, I know you had to save yourself, but, like, my dad's an atheist, my mom's religious, but her religion is kind of, structured and limited. It's fear-based. Like, don't you see, you guys needed each other. You guys are opposites completely, but God gave you to each other. And you missed, well, I think my dad would have, no matter what, he would have, he stayed longer than I would have. I'll say that. But I've probably, because I already lived through that, that's why my tolerance level is different. I don't want that. I wouldn't suffer. I mean, every day should be happy. Why am I not being happy? So I had such a wonderful, this was my favorite night of the year, by far. I keep thinking, like, I want to go let me go to fucking this place or that place to find myself. It's like, fuck, it's right here, dude. Stop being so extra. Just be. I have such a problem. I can just be. And I thought about like, there's like the guy at the gym I used to be close to, and now like he's going through something. His mom's dying. I don't call him and see how he's doing, and I've been so closed off. This is why mushrooms is a good reset. What am I doing? What am I doing out of ego and fear? This guy needs support, and I could still protect my energy and be there for people. I told my dad that I keep extra tools in my cars in case people need help. Like I'm this person because of the shit I've been through. It's like, I know you don't believe in God, but I'm telling you, Dad, I see it. I told him about all the spiritual shit I've been through, and it's like, this is what happened on this day. This is the ghost hunting trip. This is what happened as a kid in the house, and like I know that nobody else sees it but me. I know, but nobody else knows it's fucking hell. There's nobody in the world I've ever met that understands. As a kid, I wasn't listened to, so like, I even gaslit myself. What choice did I have? This is the path I chose. Technically, must be for a reason. So I can see things that escape others. And I'm having a hard time coming from here and then speaking directly about it and explaining, and this is the point of documenting it. While I was high, like I should delete all the shit that I've ever said, but it's like I'm learning, unlearning, frankly. I'm unlearning everything that I learned to make me not happy. So just like my parents were opposites, but like I thought like God put them together. It's been so hard for me to like, I see the same thing with me and my ex. Yeah, presented with the same problem, the same solution. Save myself. Every time I tried to help, and I read this in this book. Don't send me books. Just leave me alone. Don't tell me something's wrong with me. It's like, what is wrong with learning? I'm not saying something's wrong with you. I'm telling you how I understand myself. This is how you understand yourself. How do I get to my higher self? Is you stop telling me to fuck off, the person who knows. So I communicate with my higher self today. I want to be more authentic. So I immediately start thinking like the people I have to apologize to, the people that I've wronged, I like need to make an effort with. I don't see my sister anymore. Like, let's hang out. Let's do puzzles. Like, I want to be in your life. What the fuck? This is your life partner. Let's do life together, bitch. I'm a brother. I love you, you cunt. I wish I could do the same thing. Like, I had like, I was sitting there with my dad, and part of the time my friend just witnessed it until she's like, I have to go. I'm like, oh, sorry for, I held her hostage till so late. Such a good friend. I was like, whatever I have to pay you for tomorrow, like, I was like, thank you for being here. I really needed it. whatever money I cost you. We were driving on the way to my dad's, and her car's creaking. I was like, I'll just buy you another car. What the fuck is this? Why you don't have to live like this? The fuck? Why am I hearing noises? Um, I'll handle the car stuff. You do the stuff that you do. You know. Uh, so I was thinking as I was sitting there with my dad that I would have loved to sit on the floor with my ex and her mom and just have the same type of conversation, talk about life and and what's happening inside. I'm missing that connection, and I would think like the coolest thing in the world to me would have been if, I know it's not possible. Well, at least not yet. Maybe in the future I have imagined is that if my ex was there today to listen to this conversation I had with my dad, like in spirit, she was with me. It's like I can't. I feel like we're connected. I know she told me in no uncertain terms she doesn't think that, and it's a hard thing to hear. When I've been hearing it the whole time she's been talking, I have in my head I'm like, well, you don't fucking know. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the higher version. The higher version of you is who called me in. You don't fucking know what you want, lady. Why are we listening to you? You need my help, bitch. Just like my mom needed my dad, just like my dad needed my mom. Of course, that's the way I see it. So I thought, like, like, you're missing your dad. I have one here I'm trying to get rid of. But if she could see the conversation we had today and the love there's no way her life would ever be the same. That it was one of the most important days of my life. And I was thinking, like, I need to do this with each of my family members. Just sit on the floor, talk to my brother about how we grew up and things like that. We don't have to play video games and fucking go to dinner and blah blah blah. It's like, just want to just hang out. Like in your spare time, just be like, my ex does that with her family. She's always around her nephew and stuff like that. It's like, I regret not integrating myself more. I know I'd have really interesting conversations with my mom about spirituality, and her mom is so much like my mom. I felt like she was my mom already. So I see it. I see it. It might not be, like, you keep thinking your life should be this check. It has to look like this, and I have to drive this car, and I have to live here, and otherwise I won't be happy. So you won't be happy there either, lady. And God knows better than we do. So when God puts someone in your path, it's a gift. And whether you see it as gift or curse is on you. That's what alchemy is. Lead into gold. I had like deep spiritual, philosophical conversations with my dad. Told about my ghost hunting trips and the things that happened in the house and that I grew up in. I remember told him. And he doesn't believe in fucking anything. I'm like, Dad, I have access to another dimension. I don't know what to tell you. I wish I didn't. I know something exists. Part of my life path is to figure it out. And because I see this deeper knowing, I know. I'm not guessing. I know. So my job is to, rather than question it, is try to understand. why? Okay, God, why this? Why am I stuck here? What am I supposed to learn? And to me, I feel like the conversation I had with my dad today, if I was sitting on the living room floor with my ex and her mom, would have been equally cathartic, would have been equally fun. Say, hey, can I just talk to you guys? Like, I think you're family. Can I just tell you what's going on with me and how I'm thinking and feeling? Get your input and advice and love. Whether we're romantic or not, like, why do we have to define it? If we're not dating, fuck you kind of thing. So I got go find love wherever you want, sweetheart. I love you anyways. Go wherever you need to go. I'll be here for you. But I need love too. If you're afraid to show me love, yes, even as a friend, it's killing me. So it's how I grew up. Knowing someone loves you, but they don't express it. They don't show you because they're afraid of looking stupid for in case you leave. You're gonna abandon me, so fuck you. I won't ever let you in again. You're ensuring I have no choice. She brought up that I broke up with her. I was like, you were never in the relationship with me. You didn't want to be there. You're saying that I've done terrible things, unforgivable, and like I'm this awful human being. Those things are true because you say it's true. To everybody else in my life, I'm an angel. Maybe it's a perspective shift. But how do I can't explain that. If I start talking or I get yelled at, I can tell when the thing switched in her, the protective mode, and then I'm talking to her fucking HR manager. It's like, homegirl, can I talk to you? Or we have to go through your ego for everything. There's to be like legal documentation for everything. It's like, girl, I'm a blessing, not a curse. Dumbass. Why is everybody stupid but me? Everybody's so fucking dumb. Yeah, so like in the real world, it didn't work. Who's right and who's wrong and who's fucked up and who didn't work and who fucking doesn't matter. Just you cut your losses and move on. But I have access to more knowledge than anyone around me. I know the universe talks to me. How fucking rare is that? And then give me more information, universe. The fuck? Just say words. I have to figure things out the hard way. Do math. So just fucking tell me yes or no. And then if yes, then fucking how? Why is it so difficult? I have no problem leaving. I had this, you know what I think set her off is like, I said like, if you think you can never talk to me again and be fine, you should block me now. So if you want to be in my life, basically is what I was saying. Like I need love, even if you're my friend and you don't show it to me. So you send me a text, like sexually suggestive, and then run away, and then so what? Are you bipolar? How many personalities are in there? And then as soon as like there's a threat of, oh, you're gonna leave me, then I'm fucking enemy number one. Oh, you're gonna leave? Fuck you. Nothing. Now she immediately shut off any like. We were having good conversations about like, life, and it just felt like we're on the mend, or at least like getting to some sort of normal conversation where I'm not fucking blamed for everything. off a surface level. It's like either you're in my life or not, lady. You coming or going? It's like I'll leave space for you. I'll leave a light on for you. I die for you. But I can't allow you to kill me. And she's killing me. And we learn so much from each other in this world. So I was thinking that there's this guy I grew up with who was like a brother to me, and a lot of negative things happen. And I think his parents didn't raise him right, and he's narcissistic and all this other shit. And he's isolated. He doesn't have any friends. I hang out with all of his old friends, and we all talk about how shitty he made us. He made us shittier people and act shitty and all this stuff. And I'm thinking, like, maybe I should. I keep thinking about it. I should reach out, like, hey, do you need help? Is there anything I can do for you? Like, do you want to talk? Is there anything on your mind? You were my brother once. You were at my house every day growing up. So, hey, you did this, I didn't like it. I did that, you didn't like it. All right. It doesn't sound like your life is how you want it. Can you learn from something? You want to have coffee? Let's hear how I got over the things that I needed to get over. How I became a better person. How I learned from you. Maybe. Why not try? If this universe really is like you get out what you put in, it's like you reap what you sow and you start sowing. Interesting. I always say that. So I want to reach out to my old business partner. I want to reach out to this old friend. I want to reach out to. There's a girl I know that I think she's a psychopath. Like she was using me for money, and when she whatever happened to her when she was little to cause her psychological trauma is not. I mean, how she chooses to live her life and all this stuff is fine. But I called her out in a very rude way. And I was like, you're a psychopath. You're faking human emotion, and you're very mean to her. And she's like everybody seeking love. So like I have a major apology to do there. But I know that she'll understand it. When people treated me shitty, I was shitty to them. When people showed me that their heart wasn't, it's like you hurt me, so now I'll hurt you kind of thing. And I need to just start everything love. Like with my ex, this has sucked the whole time. It hurts. Loving you hurts, but you reap what you sow. So, I'll probably send some emails tonight just to get started, just to get the ball rolling on healing, and hopefully there'll be results in the world. I'll know if maybe that's what life has felt stagnant. There's so many people that instead of helping, cut them off. What's the harm trying? People that use me or my family, it's like they're so short-sighted. But why not have like a real conversation? And why not give them what they're missing, which is family? Just love. You can't pour from an empty cup. So I was talking to my friend, I feel so drained. She's like, you need grounding. And I kept thinking, I gotta go fucking to the ocean. All this shit. Fuck the ocean here. It's poisoned. The waves are rough. It's trying to drown me. Every wave is a different, size and shape. So I'm thinking I get my feet wet and then I'll drown. I have to let me go to Hawaii. I looked at flights for Hawaii. Let me just go fucking hang out in the lagoon. I just need to see my dad. That's grounding. My dad. I was like, I am you. I felt I'm so lucky. Today was I'm so lucky to have you as a dad. I'm so lucky to have learned the things that I've learned. He kept saying, I'm proud of you. And he was showing my friend my speech at the wedding, and I was like, I don't want to see this. I don't like it. In my head, I hated every minute of it. And he's like, no, people kept asking me, can I get the video of Pedrom's speech? I don't want more people to see it. The audience fucking sucked, man. The vibe there was terrible. It probably what comedians felt like during COVID. It's like the comedians feeds off the energy in the room. And the energy's fucking people are in their car and flashing their lights you don't know are you happy or sad right now? Am I doing good? I hated my speech. But I also I don't feel close to my sister. I had this. I had this story that in our elementary school, the whole school was given a writing prompt. We had to write something, a short story, and then this comedy troupe would come and pick a winner and act it out in front of the school. And they announced one of the winners was my sister. So I'm sitting in the multi-purpose room, and they announced falling back, and my teacher looked at me and she's like, "Was this yours?" I was like, "Yeah." And it was about a little girl fighting with her brother, and then she starts falling off of a ski lift, and her brother saves her. And I thought to myself, I cried during the whole thing. I had a frog in my throat. I was like, fuck, my classmates are watching me, and I'm if someone asks me a question, I'm gonna fucking lose it. And I remember thinking, obviously, she knows that I don't, there's a reason the story was about me. I knew that she knew. No matter what was going on between us, I made myself a promise. No matter how hard she was to love, no matter what she did to me or said, that I would drop everything to be there if she needed me, to catch her before she fell. And, I was paranoid the whole day, thinking, I gotta say this in front of people, I'm probably gonna fucking cry. But I'm saying this, and I'm looking at my sister, it's she's not even there. It's this isn't the same person I grew up with. We are not close. I lost her. I have all these, frankly, I don't have the relationship with my sister that I want, so I have all these spiritual sisters. I have Stephanie, I have Shari, I have Amber, I have these people that took the place of my sister, that are here to support me in my journey. And then my dumbass, I'm I'm an angel. I hold myself to a higher standard. I would never. You know what I mean? So I was thinking like it's either like I'm on the Odyssey. I was, that's what I was thinking while I was high, especially like I'm on my spiritual journey and I'm on an island with a siren. And it's like the siren can only be the siren. I'm like, get on board to this boat, we'll go to safety. And the siren's like, fuck you, I'm gonna be here. Are you going to sacrifice your journey to be here? Or continue on to your destiny, to the hero's journey, to the gold? And if that's the case, like obviously, like I'm not staying here. I know that I can't. I know that my heart will long for the. How does the hero fizzle out? I'm not gonna become Al Bundy here. I don't need to be the fucking ruler of the world, but something should happen here. Something. It wasn't all for nothing. I should have some result for it, right? So, if that's the case, this is my stop. And that means that the next stop is destiny. We do not seek for love, we just seek all our barriers we've built against it. It's closer, but still off, I think. So, I have all these barriers to love, just like my ex does. Reasons not to love, and reasons not to feel loved. She taught me a lot. Still learning. She has a lot to teach me, but not the way she communicates. She communicates to me wrong, which gives me the wrong action. And she was telling me that she realized that with her mom, that her mom does that. And she had this conversation where it's like, hey, the way you approach me makes me feel this way. I know it's not your intention. Don't you see, like that would have fixed all of our problems too. There's no reason to snap like a feral cat. A wounded person will find any reason to stay wounded. Like what happens to us initially isn't our fault. But because it's the norm, we're conditioned to it. We try to keep ourselves imprisoned. Keep ourselves at the same familiar discomfort. And when things threaten that, even we get upset because it's unknown. So, like, I did full chocolate bar mushrooms, like the fucking, helicopters didn't follow me. I didn't fucking go to space. I didn't meet aliens. Nothing weird happened. What I did is realize the things that I'm doing wrong in my life, how I can love people better. How I can get more out of life while I'm here. I met a lot of people that need love. I met a lot of people that need my help specifically. Why am I not trying to help? So, tomorrow's going to be different. Now I have a purpose. This is how I get where I want to be. I kept looking for a spiritual community, whatever. It was like, I am the spiritual community. I just need to actually do it. I have to live by what I know is right. Even when it's hard. Even when it's not reciprocated. And that's how I'll change the world. forget there's another Rumi quote. Definitely an alchemist. So something about yesterday I was smart, so I tried to change the world. Today I'm wise, so I'm changing myself. Something like that. So like me changing myself will change the world. And if my assumption is correct, that my ex and I are connected somehow in a deeply profound way, me working on myself will show results in her life, even if we're not talking. At some point, we'll be able to have this conversation, see eye to eye. It could also just totally have been a lesson along the way. In either case, like I know I'm gonna have a great life. I'm going to reap a lot in this world. Because I'm about to sow a bunch of shit. I'm gonna get started. Love you.